How far can you get on a map with nearly only water like Spice Islands if you're only allowed to place towers on land? This was a really interesting challenge, and in this video I'll show all of the cool tricks that I needed to use in order to push this as far as I could. Stick around. Before I get into the strategy, I just wanted to mention that as per popular request, I have created a Discord server and the invite link is in the description and you're more than welcome to join. As for the strategy, we will begin by placing our free dart monkey and an engineer for a cheap start so we can get working on our farms. Later, we will work on the engineer to make him a bloon trap since that gives 100% more income from pops. Another thing we can do to increase our income is using rubber to gold alks. Also, on round 37, we will drop down our hero, which will be Adora. To increase our farming even more, we will create a monkeyopolis, but the thing is that we don't have enough room to do it, unless you make use of a trick using the ice monkey. In this challenge, we do not allow placing towers on frozen water. We only allow towers on land, but in order to fit more towers on the land, we can place down an ice monkey to freeze the water right next to the land, which will allow us to place the tower closer to the edge. When we then sell the ice monkey, the land tower will not disappear because the center point of the land tower is still on land. This way we can fit more towers than we otherwise would. Next, we'll get a second rubber to gold and a monkey city to further increase our money making. We will also get an elite sniper for its supply drop ability that gives cash. Once we've gotten our farms to tier 4, we'll get 2 overclocks for them, and once we have enough cash, we will sell one of the farms and replace it with a bottom path so we can have 2 tier 5 farms. We also get a spirit of the forest for its ability generating money, and we'll upgrade one of our overclocks to an Ultraboost and give both of our farms 10 stacks while we save up money for an XXXL trap and some snipers to generate more money. For round 100 we need some more DPS, so now it's time to get rid of the rubber to gold alks since they won't generate a lot of money anymore and get a flying fortress instead. So now we have both the Engi and the Ace farming pops for future paragons. Right now, camo DDTs can be a bit of a problem because the only way we can pop camo is with the elite sniper and the engineer's cleansing foam that removes camo. It works for now, but soon we'll need an upgrade. We'll get another overclock, not only for the extra help of decamoing DDTs, but also so we can use the 2 overclocks on the farms, while the Ultra Boost can, now that it's done giving stacks to the farms, give stacks to Adora and the Flying Fortress. That's so we can survive as long as possible without having to sell the farms or buy any other towers that will steal the pops from the ones that we want to get them for a higher paragon degree. Speaking of getting pops for paragons, we also get a Grand Sabo and use its ability constantly to start farming pops for the Ascended Shadow. And also we get a Sentry champion for some extra pops towards the Master Builder. At round 140 it's getting pretty shady. The insides of the fortified bad got really close to exiting, and we're gonna need some more DPS sooner rather than later. I want to throw in a quick thank you for all the subs I've gotten lately. We're closing up on 20,000 and I'm really thankful for everyone who subscribes to the channel, so thank you all very much. Now back to the game. We got ourselves a Chinook to move Adora to her final location, right next to where I'm about to create the VTSG. We will need to sell some overclocks and the Chinook to be able to place the Legend of the Night and the anti-bloon outside the temple's range to get the Vengeful True Sun God. If you placed the Super Monkey all the way to the left on this island, you should just about be able to fit a village right next to the VTSG so we can give it some camo detection. And then we'll buy a farm again and start ultra boosting both the new farm and the VTSG. Once we have 16.2 million pops, we sell the farm so we can place 2 more aces to create our paragon. We get a degree 69 Goliath Doomship and a degree 73 Master Builder. Next we want to get the Ninja Paragon, so we place down a top path and a bottom path ninja in front to help the Grand Sabo get some more pops and wait until we have 16.2 million. At round 206 we have a degree 74 Ascended Shadow. The Paragon is placed here for a reason. Since it's a paragon, it won't get sacrificed to a temple, and thus we can create a support temple for the VTSG right next to the paragon, and then it will be inside the temple's footprint, saving us some space. We don't have a lot of space for sacrifices, but if we choose the right towers we can just barely get a max sacrifice support temple, but for the magic sacrifice we need to use the permabrew. But we can't let the permabrew give the buff to the super monkey because that would increase its range so that it would sacrifice the VTSG. So then you might say, well, just do it when a round is not playing and it won't give the buff. Well, I could, but I want to make use of another trick to save even more space. I want to Chinook an Ice Monkey to just below the Super Monkey and then upgrade the temple while the monkey is being moved to fit another tower inside the temple's footprint. This needs to be done during a round, so it needs to be fast so that the Perma-Brew does not have time to buff the Super Monkey. Thankfully, it will buff the closest monkey first, so we have some time to do it. And as you can see, the trick was successful and we are well on our way to creating a pretty insane setup. Next we get a permacharge and a crossbow master to farm pops, and a perma-brew to buff them. We get our special poperations heli back to move the perma-brew to the VTSG, and placing the perma-brew here means it just has enough range to buff our Embrittlement ice monkey all the way over here. Next I'm going to make life a bit more comfortable for myself. I will use the special poperations to pick up a middle path ice monkey and move the heli to this location and place 2 more ice monkeys on the ice. This ice platform will be used to place tech bots to automate the ability, so I don't have to activate them all manually for the entire game, since this game may last a while. The ice platform is far enough away from the track so that the ice monkeys cannot attack and will have no effect on the outcome of the game, except it will make my life a bit easier. Next we will use the ice edge trick again to fit more towers next to the VTSG than we otherwise would. And after saving up 16.2 million pops we get a degree 70 Glaive Dominus. And later we get a degree 50 Apex Plasma Master. We did not bother saving up for the maximum amount of pops for this one because we need the space in the top right as soon as possible to build our other towers so we can start ultra boosting them, because we don't have all the time in the world. The rounds are getting tough. And also this paragon will be the worst one because this map is very bad for it. But the super small footprint of the tower made it the best I could get in the small space I had left on the leftmost island. After that we will once again use the ice edge trick to fit as many useful towers as we can on this last island. A call to arms, 2 overclocks, a Cripple MOAB, Gluestorm, Grand Sabo and a BMA. Although later I decided to replace the BMA with a Sentry champion, since the Superstorm druid on the island right next to it will make the BMA not as useful as it otherwise would be, so more DPS versus bad balloons is better to prioritize. The small space under Adora will be used to place a middle path alchemist that will be sacrificed before the start of each round to buff our temples, while we work on ultra boosting every tower we have. The setup is now completed and it's a thing of beauty. Now to see how long it will last. Round 309 was one that I could not beat even with a couple of tries. The fortified bads were just too many. But to beat this one round and push ourselves just one round higher, we can use the Legend of the Night trick. When we have popped the first few bad balloons and as our defense is about to get overrun, we sell the VTSG, which allows us to buy the Legend of the Night again, and when the balloons leak they get destroyed by the passive black hole ability. Since the cooldown for this ability can't be affected by selling and rebuying the tower, that means that this is something you can only do once. Now that it has been done, it's over. The setup has been destroyed and we cannot go any further. Round 310 is the final result and I'm very satisfied with it. This challenge is definitely one that I would recommend, and I thank the viewer who recommended it to me. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe if you have not already, and you can support me by using my creator code in the Bloons store, and don't forget to join the Discord. The link is in the description, so I'll see you there or in my next video.